Should I say an unexpected win for Chelsea? I don't think anybody saw this coming with the injuries, the red cards, and the defense. What do you have to say? Your thoughts?
Unexpected. Okay. Liverpool have been poor. Yeah. The last 2 games, they've not looked like the Liverpool we know from last season. Yeah. So I didn't expect Chelsea to lose. I was thinking it was going to be a draw in the game today, but the Liverpool I saw was really poor because last season, you see that Liverpool team, there was that structure. You know, you can't just run at them and go through their midfield like that. It's usually very difficult. And whenever they have the ball, they have this control, the way they do it. You know, it looked really good last season. But now, I don't know what's happening to Liverpool because I never see problem where they start after you spend money. Yeah, because usually when you spend money, they solve problems. But Liverpool's problems have started after they've spent money. Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak. It's just looking like something has left them since last season, and that's what favored Chelsea. That's what played to Chelsea's advantage. I'm not a fan of playing Reece James in midfield because Reece James is flat-footed. It's okay for you to be a fullback and be flat-footed, but when you are a midfielder, you don't have to be flat-footed. Bayern Munich exploited that. They put pressure on James, and they were able to dispossess Chelsea high up the pitch. I didn't see Liverpool do that. Liverpool didn't put pressure on Chelsea. It looked like Liverpool were just hanging in there, hoping for something. Even the goal they got was out of nothing. Chelsea missed so many chances. It would have been injustice to Chelsea if they didn't get that late goal to win the game.
So you were talking mostly about Liverpool.
Yeah.
Are you saying Chelsea won because of how bad Liverpool are at the moment, or Chelsea were just good today?
Chelsea have got good players, but the way the coach used those players, I think is faulty because I'm a fan of putting natural players in a natural position. Okay. So when you start doing all those inverted fullback things where Malo Gusto is, where you're wondering, what's this guy doing here? And then Reece James is in midfield. I'm not a fan of all those kind of things.
But it worked now in the Club World Cup.
You see, these things can work, but only thus far. You can't build a team on such kind of things. Yeah, because let's not forget the Club World Cup, Chelsea were bouncing off that Conference League win. Those players went there and they were like, let's go there, let's get it done. And they played, no disrespect to those Brazilians, it was an easier route. PSG had to take out Bayern, take out Madrid. Then when they met Chelsea, they didn't see it coming. It happens in football. But that's you can't build a team with James in midfield. You're not building anything.
But James did not play midfield today. It was Gusto. James played right back, then Gusto played midfield.
It's the same thing. You have put a player out of position. Gusto will not be midfielder. Gusto can never be a midfielder. He can. That's why I was shocked Liverpool did not exploit those things. Like the moment, if I was to play against a Chelsea, the moment Malo Gusto gets the ball, I'm putting pressure on him. Because he wouldn't know how to. There's that thing midfielders do. You look at Xavi, you look at Rodri, you look at Caicedo. They know how to manage themselves in those kind of situations. Gusto knows how to do them. Not because he's not a good player, but because naturally that's not be the kind of football when you train as a young player. Yeah, so I just feel those lapses in Chelsea that many of these teams have learned to exploit, Liverpool didn't do it. It's not looking like those Liverpool players don't even want to play for the club anymore.
So, because you've not really answered my question head on, are you saying Chelsea won this game because of how bad Liverpool were
100%.
And not because of how good Chelsea were?
100%. It was not because of how good Chelsea was. It was because of how bad Liverpool was today. Because every time Chelsea went forward, it looked like they were going to score. That's not the Liverpool I'm familiar with.
That's how you're a Chelsea fan now. That's how good Chelsea. You should say that Chelsea were good on their day today.
Chelsea played a team that they could beat, and they ended up beating them. That's what happened. Because, see, put Tottenham Hotspur against this Chelsea display today, it won't look like this. Put a team that has a balanced midfield against this Chelsea, it won't look like this. Look at even Benfica. How they were struggling, they got that own goal. Lincoln, they struggled, got those 2 goals. They couldn't even break down Lincoln. So Chelsea right now, they have good players, and those good players will always bail out the coach. Yeah, but Liverpool made it easy for Chelsea today. I have to be honest. They made it easy for Chelsea. I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea. It was a good display because it's one thing to have an advantage and it's another thing to exploit it. Chelsea saw the advantage and they exploited it. But trust me, as a Chelsea fan, I'm not looking at that game like, we beat the champions, so we're not good enough to come and compete. No, that's not what I'm seeing. I just saw a game that could be won, and they won it. Good 3 points for them. But going forward, I don't think Chelsea is balanced enough to chase for the title, because you look at Arsenal, balanced team. You know, you look at after Arsenal, who again? Nobody there. Man
City still do no.
For where? City will be say, let me City be Enzo Maresca or Gavi that one. And the same thing with the Man City now.
Okay.
But it's looking like Arsenal is like the only balanced team right now. When you look at balanced defense, balanced midfield, they don't concede goals and red. But Chelsea is neither here nor there for Chelsea.
But still have to look at the positives. A good win against Liverpool, one of your rivals too.
Yeah.
But talking about players, what did you think about Garnacho?
It's the same problems Manchester United fans were complaining about Garnacho. Those are the same things that we are still seeing. Yeah, he's a good player, but that final decision making, there's a little. He needs to work on it. He needs a discipline manager to make it clear. Baba no go dey play when you reach there. Yeah, because it's not easy to get there. But when you get there and you're not playing, it's like you're wasting everybody's effort. You're wasting the runs of your attackers. You're wasting the runs of your midfielders. You're wasting everybody. So that final decision making, that's just what is left in Garnacho's game. But I feel Chelsea bought Garnacho because he's a young guy, 21 years old. And if anything goes wrong, we can sell him to Arsenal. And the money we collect is going to look like financial fair play. It's going to look good. So Garnacho is a good deal simply because of his age and his raw talent.
2 questions.
Okay.
1, the penalty. What do you think? Penalty or not?
That was a penalty. You know, recently, the Premier League referees, they always come out to apologize. And can you just stop apologizing? You guys have 4 referees, VAR, get it right. How we go to sit down for hours, we they see these things and we they get them right. When I wait there now, they pay you to do it and you don't get it right. Then you now come the next day and start apologizing when people have lost points. People ticket don't tear. On our account, they apologize.
Okay, how about your winner, Estêvão?
Yeah.
What do you think?
You see, Estêvão, another player where people they pay to come watch for stadium. Don't put him on the bench. Whenever you to bench Estêvão is economic sabotage. Yeah, look at Yamin Lamau. Why do you think Barcelona gave Yamin Lamau that contract? They want to make him look big. So when Yamin Lamau looks big, he brings the brands, he brings the endorsements, he brings the everything, and people are coming to the stadium to watch the matches. That's what Chelsea needs to do with Estêvão. Don't they put that boy for bench? Start him. Let him have his confidence. Let him grow. He's 18. Well, you can see when he came on, whenever he gets the ball, there's this excitement, there's this apprehension, there's this expectation. Those are the kind of players we want to see play the game. And especially now that Kopama is not there, make that boy play 10. Let everything run through him. He's able to carry the team like we've seen today.
So you have 2 of your players injured, right? Your 2 center backs, Badiashile and Achipong. It's not looking good for Chelsea in the defense.
Yeah, I think the Chelsea fans right now will welcome the international break. It will give the players the time to rest, those who are injured to come back. Because let's not forget, Badiashile and Achipong are makeshift. Tosin is out. Fofana can't stay fit. Trevor's got a red card. So, and you begin to listen to players like Mbappe who were coming out to tell us that the schedule is, we're playing so much games. I know they're making money.
Chelsea spent £1 billion on the squad.
Yeah, I know. But all of them are injured.
Chelsea, of all people, should not have an excuse. You spent over £1 billion on players.
But then, you see, people are talking about the amount of games they are playing. Yeah, I think Real Madrid played 60 games last season. Chelsea played 50-something. PSG 50-something. Over time, these things will begin to tell on the players. And let's not forget, we are coming for, since COVID, we've had this lengthy football season where players rarely rest. So the injuries right now at Chelsea, you know, you also want to look at the doctors, the medics, like what's happening. I mean, too many players are getting injured. But then you begin to wonder truly if the amount of games they are playing are too much. Yeah, because, I mean, look at injuries everywhere. I just wonder how Enzo Maresca is going to manage himself. But like I said, the international break has come at the right time. You know, players who are injured can get extra weeks off to get themselves and come back, and hopefully they can, you know, make something out of what they've got out there. But I don't think Enzo Maresca should be able to cook with the players he's got there. He might not necessarily be able to beat the best teams, but you're not going to play the best teams every day. You're going to play some other team. So he should still be able to make something out of the team.
So your final thoughts about the team and about the future of the team going forward?
No, the future looks bright for Chelsea. Whenever a club starts spending money, that is when they are ready. I remember telling an Arsenal fan when they bought Declan Rice for 100 million that Arsenal is ready. Yeah, that's what I know. The moment you start spending, the moment you're not, because there are those moments where you see that gap you have to fill in your team. If you don't spend that money on until January, and you're going to keep having problems. So the spending culture at Chelsea is okay. The only problem I have is all of a sudden Chelsea have new attackers now. The oldest attacker aside Cole Palmer is Pedro Neto, who came last season. Gittins new, Garnacho new, Estêvão new, Joao Pedro new, Delap new. So you have new attackers. And when are these players going to have time to settle? I always talk about Real Madrid, Rodrigo and Vinicius. They were not this good when they started. They had those 2-3 seasons to balance and become this kind of players. You had Nicholas Jackson, Noni Madeke, Christopher Nkunku. After 2 seasons, when it was time for them to start balancing into the squad, you just changed everything and you brought new players. So what that happens next season when Gittins is still struggling? So if he doesn't pick, what will not happen? You will not sell him and bring the player. You want to keep the door will keep revolving. You can't build like that. I think for now, Chelsea have got that young squad. And if we're saying in the next 3-4 years they're going to get better, then you have to keep these players. They have to keep these players. They have to grow together because truly, I'm confident over time, Chelsea will get to that point where Real Madrid got to, where they had a certain group of players who could just go in and win games, especially in the Champions League when they won 2 trophies in 3 seasons. He had those group of players who had stayed together, and that was the edge Real Madrid had over other teams. So, but Chelsea will have to start practicing some level of consistency. You can't keep revolving that door and bringing new players in. It could work, but I've never seen it work in football before. So it's good. Chelsea is signing players. They're getting new players in, young players, but they need consistency if these players are going to make anything out of everything they're doing right now.
Well, Chelsea fans, you have it. Another win or a win against Liverpool before the international break. What do you think about the win, Chelsea fans? Let us know in the comment section.